Well, hello people again. It's Timtim. And I guess God wants me to do another episode of my story today. I got a stray dog running around the neighborhood here. And George's kind of going a little crazy. He wants to go play. But, I think I left off. That was loud. Thank you, George, for that. You okay, George? Thank you. Yes, I know. Got the dogs. Yes, I know. We're riding. I was talking about Penny Marie and my 6th birthday party and all that. My Cookie Monster cake. That year was fairly well uneventful. Other than that, and all of a sudden, my mother had told me that she had joined the Army and she was going to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and I was going to live with their since passed now Doyle Roberts and Bertha Roberts. They were apostolic Pentecostal preacher and his wife. They were taking over a ministry in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. And by this time I was in 4th grade when I was down there. 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. And I was 7 by this time. And so we moved out. My mother went to basic training. And George, no. And he loves riding. Every kind of time he sees a car, he thinks he's going to go for a ride. And he's already in one. Oh my God, that's loud. George, come on, man. I'm going to hit this is my button. Makes him shut up. Yeah. Shut up. Relax. Anyway, she'd gone to Fort Jackson, and me and the Roberts and their son Sam all moved down to Pennsylvania, and car's acting up a little bit. Don't like cold starts. We got down there, got moved in and all that stuff, and I started school. As one day down in the basement of the church, there were these rooms. I'm 7 at the time, and so they had Sunday school, and some of the rooms had 2 doors that led into the same room. And me and this girl, I can't for the life of me remember her name. All I remember, she's a little blonde chick, a little bit shorter than me, and we're playing grab ass, whatever, freaking chasing each other around in the church where we shouldn't have been. And I remember she came in one door, I came out the other door, and we met in the middle. And it was not good. I broke off my front 2 teeth in her head. I had to go and get temporary fixtures done and all that. And I've since lost my teeth. But yeah, that was a little bit on the traumatic side. I mean, not real bad. I mean, by that point, I'd been traumatized so much that it didn't really faze me too much anymore. I was just like, well, fuck, that sucks. And then I'd knocked them out a couple times after that, over the years, until I finally got my teeth completely extracted. And at some point, I'm either gonna get all-on-4 implants from my buddy down in Florida, and if I end up doing that, I will turn you on to his practice and everything, because the guy, he's retired, but his crew that he trained is still there. They are top notch. I mean, I will recommend them to anybody in the world for any kind of dental needs, extractions, implants, whatever. And they'll take real good care of you. And I'll let you know who that is at some other point. And just remember, you are enough. The back says even better shit. yeah, there was that. So I had to walk around, and I was at that stage. I'm 7. And I got these 2 big ass, goofy front fucking bucky beaver teeth, and they're busted in half. And the girl had to get stitches and everything. George, really? Come on, man. Chill the fuck out, will you? Huh? Chill the fuck out, pup. He's only a year and 2 months, going on a year and 3 months. 25th of this month, he'll be a year and 3 months. But he's a Christmas dog. I thought it was a new Thanksgiving dog, but he's not. It was a Christmas dog. I was wrong about his age when I got him. So that happened, and then there were some things going on. There was some abuse and everything. Not from Doyle and Doyle and Roberta. But I think yeah, I want to say the name was. I can't really remember. I'm pretty sure it's Doyle and Roberta. The first name that I mentioned is probably the right one because it's the one that was fresh in my mind. But they were good. They were really good people. I mean, they were all about spare the rod, spoil the child. I mean, I remember getting paddled in church because I'd act up, I'd get bored and get fidgety and everything. They used to call me Fidget, among other things, and Timothy and all kinds of shit. They treated me good, and they instilled some values and stuff in me and everything. Hell, I remember the night that Knight Rider premiered. Wow, man, I'm making up my own goddamn words here, people. Okay. And this is unedited. I'll do this in one take. I don't know how to do multiple takes and all that bullshit. So what you see is what you get. So I'm as raw can be, and not that I try to be. It's who I am. I'm Timtim. Anybody that knows me knows it's Timtim. Yeah. But and through situations like that in my life and everything, it's like God is always there. I mean, it could have been much worse. I mean, it could have fucked up all my teeth or something. It could have hurt her really bad and everything. It's just us kids being kids, And anyway, my mother brings me back. I'm well into 8 years old, almost 8.5 by this point. We took a Greyhound all the way from somewhere in Pennsylvania. It had to be somewhere near Shippensburg. I mean, back in them days. This is back in the 80s. This is 89. Let's see. 89, I was... See, 84 is 10. So, 83, 82. I was like 80, 81, 82, somewhere around. That was 7 going on. I just turned 8 by the time my mother came and got me. And she'd call every now and then, and I'd try to write cursive, and it'd be just all these little loops and loops and loops and loops and loops, trying to say them right. So I didn't know. I was just fucking scribbling, but I'm sure my mother appreciated it. And she'd call me from time to time. They used to call her Gooseye because they couldn't pronounce her last name. But I'm sure I would love to talk to some of the people she might have been in the army with, because I'm sure that she was a fucking force to be reckoned with. Let me tell you something. That old adage, oh, your mother wear combat boots? Yeah, my mother wore them fucking proudly. She'd shove them up your ass, too. You just go ahead and fuck with her. Don't. My mother, it's like, her name was Louise. You didn't fuck with Lulu. Even though she's dead, you still don't fuck with Lulu. Now she's one of them types. But, and I am my mother's son. So I went back, but we were staying in Lisbon Falls on the river, where I learned how to ice skate. She had this freaking boyfriend. I won't give his name, but he was a former member of a 1% bike club. And then at some point he had been a freaking motorcycle cop. I'm like, how the fuck my mother ended up with a, forgive the word, pig. I'll never understand. But that's a whole nother story. And he was alright. He was handsy with her a few times. Him and I got into a few fisticuffs and everything. Even at 7 years old, I learned how to fight by fighting full-grown men off my fucking mother. That wouldn't happen. I got the fuck knocked out of me, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm hard to knock down. I'm hard to keep down. That's why I don't, I will not knowingly or willingly put my hands on a woman. You know, if it's a life or death, if it's a life or death situation, and hear me when I tell you this, if it's life or death, my mother gave me permission in 3 instances. Bitch grabs a knife, a gun, or a fucking frying pan or other blunt object, and she's coming at me with it, then fucking defend myself, knock her on her fucking ass if I have to, and then get the fuck gone. You know? Because there was a point in my mother's life, and I remember asking her, like, Mama, she hated to be called fucking Mama when I was an adult. I asked her, Mom, fucking, why the fuck did you stay with these dip fucks that put their hands on you? And she told me, Timmy, I gave to the point where if I wasn't being hit, I didn't think I was being loved. I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? And I was just like, it broke my fucking heart. You know? But, and I hope that's a situation I never had to be in where I have to strike a fucking female. Because I've made my mistakes, and I will, you know, I have struck a female. I'm ashamed to admit that, and that female was my wife. I'll explain a little bit here, and I'll expand on that when we get to that chapter. But, yeah, and I have to live with that for the rest of my fucking life. And I feel like a total piece of shit because I was pissed drunk, drank 2 quarts of Mad Dog 2020 warm on an empty stomach, blacked out, and then what had already been done was what had been done. And, you know, that's my cross to bear. And she has since forgiven me. I want to say I'm forgiving myself, but no, I'm lying because I haven't. And will I allow myself to? Yes, I allow myself to, you know, forgive myself for other transgressions. You know, I've stole, I've lied, I've cheated, and shit like that. You know, I cheated on a girl one time in my life because she cheated on me so many times. There had to be something to it, and I still feel like a piece of shit to this day because you don't fucking cheat. You hear me? You don't cheat. You fucking leave. If you ain't satisfied, be a man, be a fucking woman, and you fucking leave. You don't tear somebody's fucking heart out and put them through that shit and then look them in the fucking eyes and tell them I love you. Alright? Grow the fuck up. But anyway, that shit pisses me off. To me, cheating is fucking despicable. You don't fucking do it. You leave. But anyway. Sorry about that. No, I'm not sorry about that. I'm allowed to feel how the fuck I feel about things. And that shit pisses me off. You don't fucking cheat. If that triggers you, then maybe you need to take a look at yourself. You know, if you've cheated or whatnot, it's never right. Cheating is never right. Ever. Ever! Never a fucking excuse to cheat. Easier to leave. You don't fucking hurt people like that. You know? Even if you're being fucking abused and whatnot. Fucking, you don't cheat, you fucking leave. And if you can't leave, call somebody. Help somebody. Call me. I have some connections and shit. Freaking, you know. We'll figure it the fuck out. Alright? But, I got dog slobber all over my glasses. Thanks, George. And no, he's not thirsty or dying of thirst or anything. It's just how he gets in the car. I got water right here for him and everything. I try to give it to him. He won't drink it till we get out of the car. We're going hiking. So, here we are. I'm almost 9 years old, Lisbon Falls. And we moved to Old Orchard Beach. And let me tell you what. Old Orchard Beach, 1983, was a hell of a fucking place to be a kid, let me tell you what. They had amusement parks, arcades, I mean several arcades. I got real good at freaking convincing the pimple-faced teenagers working the arcades that, you know, all these machines had eaten my quarters and freaking, and at some point they finally figured I wasn't going to go away and I wasn't going to stop, so they just gave me freaking free games. At one point they gave me a fucking key, and I was probably the only kid in Old Orchard Beach, Maine that was allowed to play them fucking video games for free and had his own fucking key to them. You know? And I'd help clean up, I'd sweep up, because even back then, it's like, I will not accept something that I can work for or earn. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like friggin' handouts and stuff like that. And I'm the last person to ask for help. I will fucking give somebody my last bite of food and go without being hypoglycemic and everything, and my stomach hurt and everything else, because that I will not let somebody suffer. Because I don't like the words I can't, because that just means I won't in my eyes. And then I had a gorgeous tan. I mean, I sunburned like a sunburn. So bad that it blistered, and I had gotten in a fight at school, and this one teacher had tapped me on the shoulder, and I was so sunburnt that she ripped her fingernails, ripped my skin. My mother come on fucking cunted. Oh my God, I thought she was gonna kill this bitch. Because I was bleeding and everything. I mean, it was bad, but I mean, it's very nice. I mean, dark brown. All of my Native American came out. I was dark. Bleach blonde hair, because when I had hair, it'd get lighter in the summer. I mean, it would bleach. I was born a towhead. I mean, I had white platinum hair, and now it's so light you can see through it. It's fucking invisible. It's beautiful, ain't it? Look at my luxurious long locks. Bald is beautiful, goddammit. I'm just gonna leave that alone right there. My immature mind just completely went off on that. But anyway, and I'm in 4th grade at this point. And my mother, I remember my mother had come one day and she had asked me if I wanted to go to a foster home or something for some reason. I didn't, apparently it didn't quite compute. I was thinking, oh hey, new adventure, yeah, let's do it. And then I came back and I said, no, I don't want to. And then the second time, there was a social worker, and I got convinced that it would be a good idea, and it would be fun to do this. And I'm 9 years old, and I'm thinking, well, shit, I just came off on a fucking adventure. My mother will come back and grab me up, and we'll be good to go. So I went for it, and had all my shit packed, probably in a garbage bag, I don't really remember. And I went to stay with the Swayzes in West Buxton, Maine. You know, Ruth and Everett Swayze was their name. They're very good people. First time I ever experienced, and I say experience because if you have ever tasted lobster Newburgh made the correct way with an old handed-down family recipe, you experience that shit, man. Let me tell you, especially made with fresh Maine seafood. Ruth, if she is still alive, I would love to get that recipe, because that shit was, I ate, the first time I ever ate myself sick was on Ruth Swayze's seafood Newburgh. I sure as fuck did. I got sent to my room because I ate myself sick, would not stop eating it. Knew I was going to be sick. She's like, all right, you little bastard, now you go to your room. And I remember laying on my bed crying, I want my mama, I want my mama. I was and this was the second time that I felt like I had been given up. And at that point, I didn't realize what that feeling was. I just knew I felt it. I couldn't put a name on it. I wasn't old enough yet. Today, I know exactly what it was. And that was rough. I mean, there was 6 of us kids there. So that was great. I mean, I had brothers and sisters. And if you've seen my other videos on my brother Billy that I mentioned, I didn't get to be his brother. So having brothers and sisters, I was happier than a friggin' free-range pig. The adage is a pig in shit, but I believe a free-range pig is a lot happier than a pig in shit. If you ask my opinion. So we'll go with a free-range pig. Hi, George. Yeah, so we're going hiking. So I stayed there about 6 months. And then, you know, and periodically, you know, when you're in foster care, your worker comes in and they take you out for whatever. You sit and you talk and blah 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 blah, and it's all like hee hee ha ha kind of friggin' whatever the fuck. And you know, my worker at that time was Joan Smart, and I found out as an adult she had been terminated or something. She screwed something up, and it was my case she screwed up. So I don't know exactly what the screw up was, but it wasn't good. And I had gotten a new worker after her. Fast forward 6 months, and you know, I had been asked, you know, if I had my choice of another placement, what it would be, and I wanted to be on a farm. So they took me to Sid Hall Drive. No, Sam Allen Road. I'm sorry, Sam Allen Road in Sanford, Maine, with Bill and Cherry Timberman. They had no kids. They couldn't have kids at that point. Had a beautiful little farm. Bill taught me all kinds of stuff. I mean, if I could have chosen one man to be my father, it was that man. It was Bill Timberman. I would have loved to have been my father. And, he taught me how to cut wood. He taught me how to, use horses to haul logs out of the freaking, out of the woods. Taught me how to run a tractor. Taught me how to muck stalls, how to clean horses' hooves, how to fucking slaughter chickens, how to fucking slaughter a pig and butcher it and everything else. He taught me all this shit. Gave me my first fucking 22 Hornet at that age. Been shooting ever since. That was a crack shot. He said I was a natural, never been taught to shoot. He taught me how to shoot. And then, I was there for about another 6 months. And I guess something had happened. He had spanked me or something, which I'm sure I deserved. And they were threatened to lose their license or some shit. And I got switched to a different foster home. I didn't want to leave. I was happy there. That was the first place that I could remember in my life since I had been kidnapped and molested at 5 that I was happy. And I mean, I was fucking happy. And it was taken away from me. And I didn't have control of that situation. And so here we are. I believe it was around about that time I went and stayed for a week or two with the Wheelers because ultimately I was in, from the time I was 9 to the time I was adopted, I believe I was in 6 foster homes, including what I call try it before you buy it families. I was at for a week, between like 2 weeks and a month. Try it on for size. It's basically families that were child shopping, and getting even a 10-year-old adopted out, pretty fucking difficult. So I went and stayed with the Wheelers for a couple of weeks, but apparently I wasn't a good fit because I never saw him again. There was a Kennebunk, and I guess we'll stop right there for today. So we're at Kennebunk at the Wheelers. I stayed there for 2 weeks, and then went back to went back to Sanford, and then I got news that I was being rehomed again, and I'll stop it there. But I just want to say that God works very well in my life lately. I mean, I'm going through some things, and I'm keeping it private right now because it's still in the works. But God has been seeing me through this. It's very difficult for me. I'm having to do something that someone that was a power of attorney or a family member of mine didn't do their job, and now I'm having to do it. And yes, George, I know. This is hippie. And God's leading me through it, and keeping me calm, and not allowing me to go batshit fucking crazy, or take a trip that will ultimately end in my downfall and disaster, possibly prison time. So we're avoiding that. I listen to God these days because left to my own devices, I'm a fucking idiot. I do stupid. I'm very far from stupid. And my one word, my one trigger word, how everybody has that one word you don't say, and I let people know. Mine is stupid. I'm autistic. I have ADHD. I have genius level intellect. If I'm not a certified genius, I know my mother told me I was a member of Mensa because she entered me and all that. I had to take a bunch of tests, and I was always taking an IQ test. Seemed like every friggin' couple of weeks I was taking a goddamn IQ test. Not sure what my IQ is. I know it's fucking up there. Back when I was like 11, my IQ was like 115. I don't know what the hell it is now. I'm almost 52. It's up there. But anyway, God is helping me through this situation and everything. And every promise that has been made is coming true. I know it's coming true. I mean, the check is in the bank. I'm just waiting for it to clear. And if in your life you're going through something like that, I'm telling you, please believe it's something. You know, there's something out there watching your ass. There has to be. You know, if you have to sit down and look at your life and look at the situations you've been in, and figure out, you know, how much darker it could have gotten, and did you carry yourself through that? Did another person? And if you or another person did, where did that strength come from? Were you weak when you did it? You know, what were you going through? Think about these things, and you'll find out that something. You don't have to name it, and I'm not going to tell you to name it. That's not what my mission here is. You know, my mission is to just tell my story and listen to God. That's what I'm doing. You know, why am I telling my story? I don't fucking know. Honestly, I do not fucking know why I'm doing this, except that God told me to do it. You know, and if you can get some hope, some wisdom out of it, great. That's awesome. And if you don't have to go through anything I have, then you are very blessed. And I thank God for that. And if you are alone and you feel that nobody loves you, or that you're not worthy of love, and you're just sitting there secretly crying at night or whatnot, you know, putting on a fake smile and wearing your armor and your mask and everything, you don't have to wear it with me. I see you, even though I don't see you. You know, I care about you. Timtim loves you. And as long as I draw breath, just know that one person in this world, and George, say hi to George, everybody. We love you. I love you. And please, do your best to love yourself. You're worthy of being loved. Look, you know, you are enough. And I wear this sweatshirt with a lot of pride. Not for attention, because I believe in it. I believe in what it says. I believe in even more in what it says in the back. And I'm not going to tell you what it says in the back because I don't want to glorify myself. You know, if you happen to see it, you see me out in public or whatnot, you'll see it. And I wear it because I mean it, not just because it's chilly and the wind's blowing. It's nice out, but the wind's blowing. But just know that if I'm drawing breath, one person in this world loves you, and you are worthy to be loved. Timtim and George love you.